Hi, you guys. So, if you're watching this, you're new to human design, and you're looking at your body graph and you're like, what are these centers? Why are some of them lit up or colored in and some of them are not? So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what that is, how it affects you, and how to utilize it in the best of your ability for your best quality of life and well being. Okay. So, you have defined and open centers. All right. The defined centers are the ones that are colored in. The open centers are the ones that are transparent. You can tell the difference on your body graph. Whichever site you're utilizing, you can tell. Okay. Okay. So, with that being said, let's talk about it. Your open centers. So, where you are open on your body graph, number one means, yeah, you're open in that space. That means you're more easily to be swayed, to be conditioned, and to have different perspective, taking different perspective on that regard depending on where you're at in understanding and knowing yourself, says if you just be easily swayed, overwhelmed, becoming something that you're not in that space and being lost in that space where you are open. Or you're just taking in information, you're able to look at things from different perspectives and create a depth, a sense of wisdom when it comes to those spaces. Because you're not just pretty fixed in a way, it gives you an opportunity to learn and grow more in those spaces. But it's a process because first you have to understand what energy is yours versus someone else's because their energy can enter you within those centers. You can feel pressure in those centers from other people's energy. For example, if you have an open G center, and then that's your path, that's your how what you focus on in life. That is your love, how you love, you know. So if you're not sure on how you love and your love language and things like that, and you have an open G center, then you can be swayed on what love is or how you want to be loved or what you accept to be loved, before you have a really deep understanding like, okay, people love in different ways. I choose this way. Okay. Versus if you have a defined center, it's like this. I'm giving out this energy, and this is what I understand it to be. And it's just cultivating energy all the time and pressure for that energy, and you may feel that and feel pressured to um you may just get lost, in your direction. You may get lost in your direction and what direction to take because you get thrown off by the pressured energy. So defined centers. Defined centers are where you apply pressure all the time. So you can feel pressure, overwhelming pressure in a different way, depending on the center. For example, if you have a defined head center, right? That means that you are always cultivating new ideas. You are always asking questions and trying to figure out and do patterns, see the patterns and try to figure out new things to bring forth in society, right? And if you have a defined Anya, then you're always cultivating and coming up, being inspired, coming up with new things, right? So you may feel overwhelmed because you're coming up with all of this stuff and not able to execute fast enough, or you don't know what to do with all these ideas and you're not getting your questions answered, right? If you have an open head center, then you feel the pressure to answer questions. You feel the pressures of the world that need questions answered. You feel like you have to answer everybody's questions, and you can feel overwhelmed. You have all this energy, and it just ends up turning into just miscellaneous thoughts, no focus for inspiration. So it's up to you to focus your thoughts, to focus on something that can inspire you, not just death scrolling or listening to music that don't matter about nothing, but actually paying attention to things that activate your mind and inspiration. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Understand that you will feel pressure either way, whether defined or open, but in different ways. And it's a challenge for those that have defined centers to not be so fixed in one way in how you understand things and how you give pressure, that energy in that space. And to allow yourself to still be able to grow and to be able to be guided and coached. Because in some form of life, no matter how great you are, you need a coach. You're going to need a trainer sooner or later. You're going to need guidance. So you have to be coachable. And then if you have an open center, don't be so overwhelmed over everybody else's energy. So you have to go through a whole nother training of really understanding your energy in that space and whatever that center activates or governs within your life. So you know that you're not being overwhelmed and overly pressured in that particular area of your life because you have an open center. So be aware of it. That's why human design is so amazing, because it allows you to be aware of things you normally wouldn't have, that may have had you frustrated or angry or bitter or disappointed. But now that you know and that you can be aware and you can work on it and work within it, you have a much more great opportunity to live in peace, satisfaction, surprises, and success. Okay? So peace and love to you all. Understand that open and defined centers. And lastly, before we go, I want you to look into the description box. I talk about these things in different aspects of what can help you in today's time of going from well-being, finding that balance, finding your uniqueness, finding your genius, healing, to expanding your spiritual practice, understanding your own personal abilities and your godly design, right? So I have a book coming out soon, link in the description box, along with please join our free school and community. That is in the description box as well. And I hope to see you guys soon. If you want a private session, go ahead and contact me.